Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I guess kind of early afternoon. I still think of this as morning. How is everybody doing today? It's the middle of the week. And there we go. Okay. Middle of the week. We're just plugging right along. Hello, I see your highs. Let's see. I don't have a ton of announcements today. We are drawing Simpsons related drawing today. You finished schoolwork right in time. Awesome. So yes, a Simpsons related drawing. It's a little trickier, guys. So this will be a little bit tougher of a drawing than some of the other ones we've done. I think anytime that you do people, even if they're cartoon, it's just a little tricky of hands involved and scale involved. And so if you are finding that you are getting frustrated or you're having a hard time, I really suggest waiting until it's over. So you can kind of hang out and watch or, give it a try. But if you're struggling, then wait till we're completely done with the drawing and then go back and watch so you can pause it where you need to. I don't think it's so tough that I think everyone will be able to do it. It just is a little bit trickier when you're doing hands and things like that. Oh, nice. Someone got new erasers. You had a flyover at your house. I think ours was last weekend. That's kind of all that I have so far. So let me flip you guys around and show you the drawing. I'll click on my light. It's bright. So there we go. We're going to do Marge and we're going to do Bart. I do have Perry the platypus on my list, just so you know. I can see your comment there. So I did go with 2 characters, which again will mean it takes a little bit of time. And you've got hands involved, although their hands are pretty, cartoony, and we've done these like little hot dog shapes before, so I'm sure you can do it. But it's just always a little bit trickier when you're doing people. You can focus on just one. So if you want to just draw Bart, you could just draw Bart. Same thing, Marge. You want to just draw Marge, you can just draw Marge. You don't have to draw them both. I put them both just to kind of give you some options. And I will, talk you through drawing both though. So if you want to give it a go, you can. Colors are pretty simple. So I have a yellow, of course, for their faces. Red and blue is what Bart typically wore. And then Marge had the same red for her shoes, the same blue for her hair and her necklace. And then her dress was kind of a pale green. So I just have red, blue, yellow, and green today. So let me put this aside and we will get started on the drawing. Even I might erase a bunch of times today. But it's sometimes fun to do the challenge of kind of people shapes. So I'm going to start with Bart's head. And I'm just going to draw. I want to move this a little bit in from the side of the paper because I want room for his arm and his skateboard. So I'm just going to draw kind of a rectangle. So do a line coming down, a line going across, and then a line coming down that's a little bit shorter. Okay, so we're kind of doing that rectangle shape, but this line will be a little shorter. And this line is actually going to be where his mouth is. So this line will curve in and then have a little curved line on the edge of it for his cheek. So we'll add all the details of, his hair, that pointy hair, all of that will come later. Kind of breaking him down by shapes like we do for all of our drawings. His bottom lip is about halfway on this line, and it's just a little curved line out, and then it comes down for his neck, and then you can connect these two across. So there's the start of Bart's face. Now for his eyes, he has those two big circle eyes, and we're going to see one whole eye and then the other eye builds off of it. So I'm going to put a big circle right here. And then my other circle will build off and it'll come outside of the face. And then the nose actually kind of goes into the eye. So I'm going to do a little tiny, right about where this corner is, where the two eyes meet down here. I'm going to do a little hot dog shape for a nose. And then I can erase that little lower portion of the eyeball. I'm going to make his nose a little bit shorter. I don't want it quite as close to the edge of his face. There we go. And I can erase the line from his head cutting through. So that way there's no lines inside the eye and there's no lines inside the nose. And then two little circles inside of his eye for his pupils. And these will get colored in black. His ear starts on the outside. It's over here on the side of his head. And it's just about level with the lower portion of his eye. So you can just kind of come from your eye and do a hot dog shape out here for the ear. And then erase that face line inside the ear. And it has just a little kind of V shape. It's a little curved, one curve up and one curve down for the inside of his ear. And that is Bart's face. The last thing we have from his face are the points on top of his head. So I just come off of this line and just start adding those zigzag triangles in like that. And then I'm not going to worry about erasing that line right now. When I go through with pen, I will just go right over the zigzag with the pen, and then I'll erase that line afterwards. It would be really tricky to try to erase those little tiny lines inside each of the V's, so I'll do that at the very end. And let's start working on his body. So I'm going to put one sleeve. He's going to have one arm kind of coming out this way. So he's gonna have a sleeve right here. So I'm gonna draw a half circle right here off the back, the bottom of his neck, off the back, with a line that comes down to close it. So that's one of the sleeves. And then we can work on the body of his shirt. So on the front, it's going to come out a slight curve a little bit, and then it's going to come out a little bit more and down. So it's out, make that a little darker, out a little bit more and down. On this underside from the sleeve, it's going to come out and come down about as long as this front piece, and then connect those two lines. Just like that. His other sleeve, you're going to have it come out and then curve back into the body. So he ends up with one hand on his hip and one arm is resting on the skateboard. For his shorts, I'm going to do a slight curve here, then a line coming down, so this is his front leg. We're going to see one leg towards the front and then one leg is in the back. And then this line is going to come across. And I went a little over about halfway of where his body is. And then I come up to where this curve is here. I'm going to come up about the same distance. And then curve up into his shirt. So again, this is the leg that's in the front. And then we have the leg that's in the back. And so the leg in the back, you're going to have an angle coming down and then angle this back into the other leg. So that's the leg that's behind. And he kind of is doing, let me show you the original picture again. So he's kind of doing this crisscross leg here. So we're going to see some of his foot is tucked behind that back leg. So I'm going to draw a curved line coming a little bit in from the back of these shorts. Just curving forward. It's going to look kind of funny until we get all of it on the paper. And then a little bit in from this side, we'll do the same, another curve. This is that leg. Close this off with an oval for his sock. And then I'm going to stop right there. So he will have a shoe, but I'm going to put this other leg in first and get that shoe in before I tuck this shoe behind it. So for his other leg, this leg is going to come straight down into the sock. Down here at the bottom, you're going to draw another oval. So we have this leg's sock, and then we'll put that shoe in. So we'll do a line coming down, going across, or you can have it just touch the bottom of your paper, and then a curved line for the toe, the front of the tennis shoe. Now we can put this shoe in. So the line will come out. Should come straight. That was curved. And then it's going to curve down. That sole of the foot comes down behind this. So now we have shoe number 1, shoe number 2. And when you add the details of the shoe, like put the sole of the shoe, a little line up from the bottom, and that little circle on the back of the tennis shoe, and then do it here, then you can really tell what that is. So here's one leg, and here's the other leg tucked behind the back leg. See, a little tricky. This drawing's a little trickier today. And next we have arms. Arms are sometimes the most challenging part. So let's start with this one here. So where the shirt meets the sleeve in this corner, I'm going to do a curved line coming out. And then a little in from this, I'm going to do a little line that goes down to the shirt. This is like the V of his elbow. And then the outside part of his arm will start a little bit up here by the sleeve, and it's going to come out. Right where this line is, you're going to do that elbow curve. So it's going to come out and then curve in. And you'll stop it just a little bit before you reach the shirt, the front of the shirt, because we're going to put part of his hand right here. Let me erase this a little bit, clean that shape up. So for his hand, you're going to do a curved line coming down, again stopping before you reach the shirt, and then 2 little hot dog shapes, 1, 2. And there's his hand. So see, his arm is bent and his hand is up by his hip. So we're not drawing his whole hand, just drawing part of it because part of it is hidden by his body. I'll give you just a minute to get that part in, make a couple little erases. Now, the other arm is much the same in that you're going to come out and curve back in, okay? So let's do that part first, just kind of this curved out and then bring it back in. And then this hand is up higher because it's resting on the skateboard. So I'm going to do a little curved line right here for the palm of the hand. I'm going to do 3 hot dog shapes. So 1, 2, 3. And when I do this third one, I'm going to curve back up here and then put his arm. So see, just like that, because this is resting on something. So this arm is even higher than this arm. So we aren't seeing the length of the arm because it's hidden. And that skateboard is really just a really long kind of hot dog shape. We're going to start from about where the palm is, because that's where he's leaning on that skateboard. And I want that skateboard to come all the way down to the same length as his foot. Okay, I'm going to raise up my paper so I have room. Make it a little bit longer. That's about the same length. And then it's going to come back up and go into his fingers. So this big long breadstick, big long hot dog, is actually going to be his skateboard. And so it looks like a skateboard. We're going to put 2 wheels. We're going to put one a little bit in from the bottom. Just draw a circle on the bottom. And then another a little bit in from the top of the skateboard. I don't have a baseball bat in this drawing. I would just do a similar shape that we did here and then make it more narrow at the bottom with a little oval. Inside of these wheels, I'm going to do 2 circles for the center of the wheel and just a little detail curved line up above it. And then I want the wheels to look attached, so I'm just going to put a line coming off of each side, which is going to be like the part that's the wheel's attached to, or the part that goes to the wheel we can't see. And then I want to add some detail lines inside the skateboard to give it its shape. So skateboards kind of have that edge. So I'm just going to put a line coming a little bit down from up here. And then another one coming from the bottom, kind of curving up. And these don't have to meet. I kind of left a gap in them. And then I put another little line just kind of running down the face of the skateboard. And that is our Bart Simpson. Tomorrow we are doing a birthday monster drawing. It's my son's birthday, so we're drawing tomorrow, and then I'm reading the book afterwards. And I'll tag the group where I'll be reading the book. So there we go. There's our Bart. And like I said, maybe you just drew Bart. You can just focus on him or finish him up. Or maybe you've just been watching this whole time because you want to draw Marge, or maybe you're drawing both. And what I figured we would do is we'll do the Simpsons. We're doing these 2 right now, and then we'll draw them again at some point, and we will do we'll do the rest. We'll do Homer and Lisa and Maggie. So then you get the whole family. It would have been way too hard to draw all of them in one drawing. So Marge, she's taller than Bart, right? And a lot of it, though, is her hair. But I do want to make her appear bigger. So see, in this drawing, she's bigger. Her eyes are bigger, her body's bigger. And I'm starting with her eyes. So I'm going to just put those big circles again. I'm going to draw a big circle here. That's maybe a little too big. So big circle there. And then the other one coming off of it, just like we did for Bart. And just like we did for Bart, we're going to put her nose in. So right at this corner where the two eyes meet, you're going to do a hot dog shape. And then you can erase that eye line that's inside the nose. Give her two pupils, one in each eye, of course. You're just drawing the skateboard. Done. Oh my goodness. And then for her eyelashes, she just has lines up on the top. About 4 to 5 of them. I did 5 on each. And next I'm going to put in her upper lip. So her upper lip is going to come off of this eye and it's going to curve out and then come back in for a smile. And then she has that same lower lip as Bart. So about halfway through, you're going to do a curved line and then a line for her neck. Now, for her hair, I'm going to start with the edge of her face. And her hair is made up of all of these wavy lines, okay? So I'm just going to come kind of off of an eye. I'm going to go right between these two lashes. And I'm going to do a curve up. And then I'm going to do wavy lines coming down till I get past her eyeballs. And then I'll do wavy lines coming down this way until I get about to where her neck is here. So one more little hump. Now the front part and the top part of her hair, I'm bringing off of the side of the eye and just doing that same thing. A bunch of wavy lines, really high. Coming back down and connecting with the bottom. There's the first drawing. So we just did all of this part right here, but we need to put an ear in. So about where her mouth ends, I want you to draw just that little curved half circle. Erase the hair inside of it. And then do that little V shape for the inside of her ear. And then her neckline will actually come right off the back here, just down here below at the bottom. You can add a tiny little line for the neck. And her neck, she always wears these pearls. So you're just going to draw circles. Instead of a line to connect these two pieces, you're just drawing circles to give her her necklace. Now for her, I'm going to kind of start on the arm, but then I'm going to build the dress and then come back to the arms. So we have one line for this arm is going to come down and out. And it'll actually bend up, back up into this space. Make it a little bit shorter. And then her other arm is coming kind of like Bart's does. It's coming out and back in. So I'm just kind of putting this curved line in first, and then I'll take care of the rest afterwards. For her dress, some of this arm is hidden behind her actual dress. So I'm going to start below the pearls. Okay, just come down a little bit from the pearls. And I'm going to do a curved line coming out and back in. And we can take this line across, not all the way. And then this line comes down, and you just leave room down here for her shoes. So bring it across, but it's not too wide. It's pretty narrow. And this part can come straight down and meet up with the bottom of the dress. And then we just have her arms to finish. So this arm, like I said, it's bent in, but we need to do the inside portion of it. So it's going to be on the front. So I'm going to put a curved line right here that's going to meet up with where this starts to curve. So I'm just going like that. So this is now the width of her arm. And then I can erase that little triangle in the corner of the dress because we're actually hiding that top portion of the dress. And then the line for this arm will start on the inside and it'll come down into the dress. I'm going to give this a little bit different angle, make it a little bit narrower. I don't want her arm quite as thick. There we go. Now I'm going to do one finger, one hot dog shape coming out. And then two coming down. So one right here. And the other right here. And then it'll come back into her hand. This one I maybe made a little bit too fat. Make that skinnier. There we go. That's a better size. And then you can erase the dress line. And there's her hand on her hip. So we're seeing some of her fingers in the front and some of her fingers are back behind the dress. Her other arm is up in the air. So I'm going to do a line coming up off of this line. So this one comes down, this one comes up. And then the other side of it will come out from her dress and curve up. And then she'll have 3 hot dog shapes going this way. So 1, 2, 3, and 1 coming up. And then that curved palm of her hand going into her arm. And there are her arms. And then we just have her legs. So her leg have a line coming down and a little bit over, have another line coming down. So these are the insides of each of her legs. She wears heels, so you'll do a little line going in on both sides, a little line coming up, and then this one will drop down into a curved point and come back around into the dress. Same thing over here, curve down into a point and come back around into the dress. And then we just put the shoe line. So the shoe line starts a little bit above, and you just follow the shape of her foot. Same thing here, but above where this line is, and follow the shape of her foot. And there is Marge. So now we're ready for our outline. So like I said before, I didn't erase on this headline, so I'm just going to go straight into the zigzag of Bart's head. And I won't do this line across. The curved line of his ear. His eyes. The nose. We did lots of little layering. So I'm just making sure that I don't accidentally put any of those lines. But most of them I erased. The only things I didn't erase were that headline in his hair, because that just would have been too tricky. Most of the other lines are already gone, so I shouldn't mistakenly do one. The shirt. Do any of you watch The Simpsons? The Simpsons has been on for so long. I should have looked that up, but I was much, much younger when The Simpsons started. Your Marge is very thin. That's fine. Marge is actually, she is pretty long and lean. What I've always been amazed at with The Simpsons is that when you watch the beginning of The Simpsons, and, it starts with Bart's, I think, on his skateboard, and then Homer pulls into the garage, almost runs him over, and then they're all on the couch. There's like the couch part, and every single episode that The Simpsons has done, that couch scene is different. So each time that scene right there in the opening credits changes. I've always thought that was really fun. Just seeing what they do. Because typically in shows, the opening credits are always the same. And with The Simpsons, everything is the same except for that one scene, that first couch scene. I think The Simpsons started when I was like in high school, because I remember the kid I used to babysit loved to watch it. And it's still going today. I love the Halloween ones. I'm a big fan of Halloween. And Simpsons always does some pretty fun Halloween episodes. Oh, yep, and what he writes on the chalkboard. He's always writing something different on the chalkboard. I forgot about that. He's always in trouble for something else. The class clown troublemaker. We probably all know one of those. Do I have allergies? I do have allergies. Can you hear my stuffy nose? It's been bad the last couple days because the weather changed so dramatically. Whenever the weather really changes dramatically, I have problems with allergies. But sometimes I think Sacramento is like the allergy capital of the world. I'm also terrible about taking allergy medicine because I don't need it every day. And so then the days I do need it, I'm miserable. Because usually by then it's too late. I'm making Marge's eyelashes just a little bit thicker when I put them in. All those little hair lumps. She's got that great big hair. All right, just the bottom of her, and then we're ready to color. How's everyone else doing? Are some of you coloring already? I know we had some say they were done. Bart's shirt is red. His shirt is red and his shorts are blue. And his shoes are blue. All right, I think we're good. There we go. Now I'm ready to erase all my pencil. Someone said they got new erasers, so this is probably the part you've been waiting for. Work in your new erasers. It's always fun when you get new supplies. So you don't know the colors. Okay, so Marge has blue hair. And I used the same blue for her hair as I used for Bart's shorts and Bart's shoes. And then she wears a green dress. But, you know, you could put her in anything you want. You could do other colors for sure. Their skin tone is yellow. And it's actually fun because if you can find some old Simpsons, they were even drawn much different than they look now. They were more, I don't know, I almost think they were more rough looking originally. So I'm going to do Bart's shirt red. I'm going to color everything pretty light today. Took us a while to get the drawing done, so it'll make the coloring part go a little bit faster. And again, I'm just going through and doing my edging so that way I create a border for color, and then I can go much faster once I'm coloring. And then I'm going to take this same red and I'm going to use it to color Marge's shoes and to color her necklace. This shirt colored in. Oop, I went into the hand a little bit. So I'll use this same red and come over and I'll do her necklace. I'll push a little bit harder on that. And since there's circles, I'm just coloring them in a circular pattern. Helps me stay in the line. My red is called Vermilion. And then I'm going to come down here and put it in her shoes. It's almost like a little bit of an orangey red. rather than a true red, the one I'm using. Vermilion. You really don't need too many colors for this drawing. You're going to repeat a lot of the same colors. Thank you. And then I'm going to get a blue, which this blue is called sky blue. And I'm going to come in and color Bart's shorts. Does anyone here who watched The Simpsons know what Bart always says about his shorts? He has a line he says a lot. Oh, no one's answered yet. Either everybody's quiet and focused or no one knows. Bart's famous shorts line. And I'm going to color the shoes in the same blue. Just this portion of the shoe. The socks are going to stay white. The circles are going to stay white. And the sole of the shoe is going to stay white. Just the inside of the shoe will be blue. Don't remember. Bart always says, "Eat my shorts. Eat my shorts, man." I think that's actually, he almost always has the, yep, you got it, Donna. Eat my shorts, man. I think even he's written that on the chalkboard once. I will not tell people to eat my shorts. That's been one of his things. All right, there's his shoes. And now I'm going to bring the same color in to Marge's hair. Going through all of these little circular edges. I'm kind of coloring her hair too in like a circular pattern. So then if you do see some of the white come through, it'll just have that, I don't know, I always think it makes it look more like curly hair. If hair looks curly, I think it's more effective to color like this versus up and down or side to side. And her hair is really kind of curly. And there's lots of circles involved, so I think it's easier to stay in those lines when you're doing that circular pattern. I have been on the Simpsons ride at Universal Studios. I have to say, so I loved the Simpsons land. Like, I thought it was really cute and the big giant donuts and all that. But I love rides, love them. I love roller coasters. But the rides at Universal Studios, they're more of like a virtual thing where you're not really like, you know, it's not like a loop-de-loop roller coaster. You're mostly watching a screen, a simulator. That's what I think it's called. I get really sick on those. And the Simpsons one was really bad for me. So I went on it and I ended up with my eyes closed almost the whole time because I was afraid I was going to get sick. So I have been on it. but you can't really ask me anything about it because I had my eyes shut. I think they were on a roller coaster. Maybe what it was is like you're on a roller coaster in a broken down park or something. I couldn't handle it. In fact, a lot of the rides there I had a difficult time with for that reason. I got very motion sick. I do fine on all the rides at like Disneyland, or any of the big roller coaster rides at I don't even know what the park down here down near the bay is called anymore. It's been so many different names. Okay, there is her hair. I loved all the characters, though. I really loved the Simpsons land. It looks really cute. It's really fun. Fun place to go. I do need a gray for the wheels of my skateboard. This is called Cold Gray. And I did the center portion a little darker. You could also do the wheels black, or I don't know, any color. There's lots of colors in skateboard wheels. Great America. Is it still called Great America? Six Flags? I don't know. It constantly changes, I feel like. I'm doing light green inside the skateboard. I'm going to do a different green for Marge's dress, but they could be the same. Yeah, I feel like that place has changed names so many different times. And then I'm going to color this edge that I made darker. Just to give it some dimension. Just like that. And then I'm going to do Marge's dress, and this one is apple green. It's a very yellowish green compared to this one over here. Down along her hands, make sure I don't get in her fingers. On the front of her dress. Now I can color inside here a little quicker. All the way down the edges. Looks like we got a bunch of people who know each other today. I see lots of highs. So yes, tomorrow we're doing our drawings at 3. We're doing birthday monsters based on the book by Sandra Boynton. It's for my son's birthday, so we're doing a little celebration for him. And then we will go on the local reading group page shortly after, and I will read the birthday monsters with my son. So we're kind of trying to do some fun birthday activities for him tomorrow. Get him involved in the drawing. And now, lastly, all of the yellow. So all of their body and face is yellow. This side too. Down here in the legs. Oh, good. Easier time with the fingers. Fingers are really, I mean, even in something like this, when it's like a cartoon character, gosh, fingers and hands, sometimes they can be the hardest part. And I've done many a drawing where I save them till the very end. We kind of did it today with each character. We kind of drew the hands last. And a lot of times I've done that because if I start with it and I get frustrated, then I just don't even want to keep drawing. So I'll kind of save my hands for the end because then the rest of my drawing is done. I'm not going to quit now, which I typically don't quit anyway. I power through it. And sometimes you have to just let it go and realize that, even today in my drawing, I see all kinds of weird things I would love to change. But that's why I do a lot of drawings that are just straight in pen, because sometimes you just have to let it go. You just have to say, it's fine. And most of the time, once you get everything all colored in, you don't notice a lot of those. But that's awesome. I'm glad you didn't struggle as much, and I think that means you're drawing more consistently. You're getting more comfortable with your art, and that's kind of what it's all about. Practice, practice. You got to just keep doing it. It's like anything. Some people just naturally have a drawing ability from the very first time that they put something in their hands, and others, you just have to work at it. You have to practice it more. And that's fine. Doesn't mean you're any less of an artist than the person who it just comes natural to. We all make our art different. And we all get better the more we practice. I tell my son that all the time because he'll sometimes get frustrated. He'll draw with me, and to him, I make it look real easy. And then if he's struggling, and I just always tell him, hey, you're 9. You've only been drawing for maybe 5 years. I've been drawing for many years, for many, many years. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And all the drawings I do with you, you know, I do them twice. I do one the night before so I can show you what we're drawing for the day, and then I do one for you. And that's, you know, it's all part of the practice. So you should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everybody who comes and draws, and I love when you share your art, so please keep doing that on the page. And, you know, like I've always said, it can be in the album, it can be just right on the group. However you like to post it, everyone who's looking for it knows where to find it. So they'll either look in the albums or they'll just look down the group page at the photos. I think that completes the Simpsons drawing for today. So I am going to write my name on my page. I'll do it down here at the bottom. Fit it in under the skateboard. Just like that. We have one birthday today. It's a big one. We have Linda. Linda is here celebrating her 80th birthday with us. So thank you very much, Linda. You're here almost every day drawing. Your friend Rosie wants to wish you a very happy birthday. I appreciate your love and support, and I hope that you have a wonderful day to celebrate the birthday. Thank you so much. We'll be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. to draw the birthday monsters. I'll show you the book again like this, and then we'll be in a group afterwards to read the book. It's a really cute book. So thanks again, and happy birthday, Linda. Have a great one. Bye, guys. See you on Thursday.